Now at 10, McDonald County authorities file a murder charge against a woman accused of shooting her husband in the head. Plus, the latest following a not guilty verdict for Kyle Rittenhouse in Kenosha, Wisconsin. And a look at the damage left by a fire at Silver Dollar City.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Prosecutors charge a McDonald County, Missouri woman with murdering her husband. This is KOAM News at 10. Investigators say Don Nguyen is charged with second-degree murder and armed criminal action. They say on Tuesday, deputies responded to a home on Pleasant Grove Road west of Anderson. When they arrived, they found Nguyen's husband, Harold Lee Nguyen, dead from a gunshot wound to the head. Authorities arrested Don Nguyen at the scene. A jury returns a guilty verdict for a Cherokee County man accused of attempted first-degree murder. 38-year-old Brian Waterman is now awaiting sentencing on that charge and additional charges of aggravated kidnapping and aggravated burglary. It took the jury less than 2 hours to return the guilty verdicts. The charges stem from a 2016 incident in which Waterman broke into a Baxter Springs home, stabbed a man, and doused him with bleach. The OSBI has identified 2 people found dead in Grove, Oklahoma. They are 68-year-old Deborah Jo Van Ostrand and 69-year-old William Harrigan Rambo II. The 2 were found dead in a Grove home on Dillard Drive back on November 9th. The OSBI says they're investigating the deaths as suspicious. A Wisconsin jury found Kyle Rittenhouse not guilty on all 5 felonies, all of them that he was charged with, for the deaths of 2 men and wounding of another during a night of violent protests in Kenosha in 2020. Jurors ultimately had to decide whether the case against the armed Illinois teenager amounted to self-defense or whether he was a villain. Michael George reports from the courthouse.
Find the defendant, Kyle H. Rittenhouse, not guilty.
After his emotional reaction to the verdict, 18-year-old Kyle Rittenhouse was free to leave the Kenosha courthouse to go on with the rest of his life. The jury of 7 women and 5 men found Rittenhouse not guilty on all 5 felony charges, including intentional homicide, which can carry a life sentence. In August of 2020, Rittenhouse fatally gunned down Joseph Rosenbaum and Anthony Huber and injured a 3rd man, Gage Grosskreutz.
He wishes none of this would have ever happened, but as he said when he testified, he did not start this.
Rosenbaum's fiance and Huber's girlfriend expressed outrage over the verdict.
In this case, it feels like the victims' lives don't matter. Nobody here is ever going to stop attempting to expose the flaws in this system.
The violence broke out during a protest over the shooting of a black man, Jacob Blake, by a white police officer. In tearful testimony, Rittenhouse told the jury he opened fire after Rosenbaum chased him and tried to grab his gun. Rittenhouse said he killed Huber after he was struck with a skateboard. Outside the courthouse, some supported Rittenhouse's self-defense claims, while others said he provoked the bloodshed.
We're going to continue to fight against the policies and procedures that do not allow us to thrive as people and be safe.
I'm happy. I think he's not guilty.
President Biden called for calm after the verdict.
I stand by what the jury has concluded.
While former President Trump issued a statement congratulating Rittenhouse. Michael George, CBS News, Kenosha, Wisconsin.
The jury deliberated for about 3.5 days before acquitting Rittenhouse. Another chilly night out there. Doug Heddy joins us.
It is, but thankfully not as cold as what we saw this morning. We dropped all the way back to 25 degrees, so we had a hard freeze across the region. 25 to start, 54 for a high. Not bad, pretty close to where we should be for this time of the year. A lot of clouds today through the afternoon into the overnight hours. Nothing underneath the clouds, so we are going to stay dry, but mostly cloudy tonight, mostly cloudy tomorrow as we have these weak little waves which are passing by to our north. And temperature is pretty steady. We've been sitting mainly into the upper 40s. I think we'll drop back into lower 40s a little bit later on tonight, but southerly winds will actually keep our temperatures up just a bit, which is always kind of nice to see. So as we go through the overnight hours, we'll back down to about 42, 51 by 10, by noon 57, up to 61. Saturday is going to be fantastic. We do have some changes, of course. We're going to look at that here in just a bit.
Catch you then. Thanks, Doug. As the temperatures drop, home furnaces are kicking on. That can come with a cost as energy prices rise across the region. The general manager at Carthage Water and Electric urges people to be extra careful and try to conserve energy where they can.
Through the winter time, really the biggest element that you can, the biggest impacts that you can make for your home energy consumption is going to be making sure that you have cracks and doors and windows filled, and if you can turn the thermostat down to about 68.
Experts say you might also want to consider upgrading to a higher efficiency furnace if yours is older. Freeman Health System is set to hold a pediatric COVID-19 vaccine clinic. 160 doses are available, and so far 60 spots have been reserved. The remaining 100 doses are open to walk-ins. That clinic is tomorrow from 8 a.m. to noon at the Freeman Business Center. We're getting our first up-close look at the damage from a major fire inside Silver Dollar City, and we're learning more about the investigation into yesterday's fire at the popular theme park. Madison Horner reports from Branson, Missouri.
These aren't just buildings that we lost, these are memories that people have made and been able to make at our park, not only our guests but our employees.
Silver Dollar City Vice President of Operations Jeff Ussery says the 3 buildings that were damaged were Heartland Home Furnishings, the Pork Rind Shop, and Flossie's Fried Fancies.
I would imagine there are a number of people that have a dining room table sitting in their house right now that they bought from Heartland Furniture.
No one was seriously injured yesterday, and in less than 24 hours, employees were able to build a wall around the 3 buildings that were lost in the fire.
Just the amount of work that has gone into this is amazing, and we do it because we want to welcome guests back to Silver Dollar City.
Guests like Derek Whitehead from Conway, Arkansas, who was on his way to the park when he heard about the fire.
We were 45 minutes from here, and my coworker had just gotten the breaking news about the fire, called me and said, "Hey, are you there yet? There's a fire." And I said, "No, I'm not. Let me Google it real quick." And we had to postpone till today.
Whitehead said he was nervous the park would be closed for several days after the fire.
I'm proud of the park for doing what they could, because it was going to be disappointing if we didn't get to come here today.
Ussery says he is so appreciative of the amount of work from first responders and employees who stepped in to help yesterday.
And in 24 hours that could happen only because of the work that all those folks put in.
Silver Dollar City says there are plans to rebuild what was destroyed and says it'll announce more details later. The U.S. House today approved the Democrats' Build Back Better bill along party lines. The roughly $1.75 trillion plan includes funding for universal pre-K, child care, climate provisions, housing, health care, and paid leave. But with no Republican support, the bill faces a stiffer challenge in the Senate, where moderates, including West Virginia's Joe Manchin, are concerned it would add to the deficit. President Biden today had his annual routine physical. The exam came with some historical significance because while the president was under anesthesia for a routine procedure, Vice President Kamala Harris temporarily became the first woman in the history of our nation to hold presidential powers. Still ahead, Joplin area kids test their skills and aim in the Parks and Rec Turkey Shootout. And Joplin businesses show off their holiday spirit, and you can vote on your favorites. Joplin Parks and Recreation Department today hosted a turkey shootout. Real turkeys were not involved. It was a free throw contest for kids in kindergarten through 8th grade. The kids competed to win a Thanksgiving turkey and gift cards to Academy Sports and Outdoors.
It's really exciting. The joy that they have is such pure joy that I know that they're having so much fun when they win, and they usually surprise themselves when they win sometimes, and they just get so excited. So it's great. It's great to watch them do that. And then when we hand them a turkey, it's even more exciting because the turkeys are almost as big as them.
Oh, wow, look at that. The shootout was hosted at the Boys and Girls Club Gymnasium. Downtown Joplin's getting in the holiday spirit, and you get to choose which business looks best. A number of local businesses are competing in categories such as best use of lights, most creative, and best use of theme. That theme, by the way, is Candyland Christmas. You can find a link to vote in this story on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. A new business in downtown Pittsburgh is full of history. The White Elephant Emporium offers vintage home decor items. Stephanie Watts and Danielle Beitzinger opened the store in a warehouse that was built in the mid-1800s and passed down through Watts' family. Now the store is refurbished and ready for business.
And I think the ultimate compliment to me was I asked my dad if my grandmother would be thrilled, and you know, she's long gone, but yeah, she would be super excited about this for us.
We've put a lot of sweat equity and worked really hard.
The store is open every Saturday until Christmas. Pittsburgh Police and Fire today joined forces for their annual Badges and Burgers event. The heroes doing some work on the grill there. For $5, folks could get a burger or cheeseburger, chips, and bottled water.
This is certainly an event that's going to help the community, but it's also a good cooperative effort between the police and the fire department. Anytime we get a chance to work together, you know, that's a good opportunity. I will say that Chief Nargis from the police department has really kind of shepherded this program because he's been around for a long time.
Proceeds benefit the Children's Advocacy Center. Later, the Frontenac Raiders look to punch their ticket to the state championship as they take on Holton.
Plus, we're going to warm up a little bit as we head into the weekend. We're going to look at that and also Thanksgiving coming up next. It definitely turned out to be a pretty nice Friday for us today. Temperatures not bad into the mid-50s after a very cold start, all the way down to 25 during the morning hours. And we did go to 54, so not too bad. A lot of clouds across the region. It looks pretty good right now. Here's a live shot. This is Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. Of course, Indigo just outside of Seneca, Missouri. Parking lot filling up. It's Friday night. Everybody's getting ready for the weekend. The weekend in general looks pretty good. All right, we're going to do the winter forecast on December 2nd. So that's 2 weeks from yesterday. We'll break down the winter. We may even look at the spring just a little bit using my pattern. And within the pattern, we do have a storm system on the 23rd and 24th, which I hope produces some snow. Nice weekend this weekend. Rainy, though, for Thanksgiving. It's okay. Most people are going to be inside watching football and eating some turkey. All right, temps right now, we haven't dropped off much. We're into the upper 40s across the board, and this is due to south winds, kind of keeping our temps up. That's what we're going to see as we go through the overnight hours tonight. And then again, this is going to help us warm up a decent amount as we go into Saturday. Looks good, 7th and range line. We do have a lot of clouds, but temps not bad. 48 south winds, 5 to 10. Humidity is bone dry, sitting at about 39%, and these clouds across the region will continue to work through pretty much all night long. So we are going to have mostly cloudy skies. We're going to have mostly cloudy skies tomorrow. You will see the sun, just a lot of clouds with it, and this is due to weak little waves across the northern parts of the plain. So one's passing by. There's another little tiny guy that will slide in late tomorrow night into Sunday morning, which will give us a chance for a few showers. Besides that, not much going on. Looks pretty good for the next few days. All right, southerly winds keep our temperatures up. Lower 40s tonight. We do have a lot of clouds tomorrow, but it's going to be a nice day. We're going to go into lower 60s, so just about perfect for the middle of November. We'll start at 42, 57 by noon. High temp is 61. South winds 5 to 15. We could get some gust at times in that kind of 20 to 25 mile per hour range. Tomorrow night, that weak wave slides in. We'll get some light showers that pop up mainly along and south of I-44, and I really think most of you will stay dry. I think most of this is going to stay just southeast of the region. We clear out by Sunday, so if you're traveling north, I-49 to the east side of Kansas City, Arrowhead, let's say 325 for a Chiefs game, it looks pretty good. Great football weather. It's going to be sunny. Temperature sitting into the lower 50s, but cooler air works in Sunday night into Monday morning. So Monday's going to be kind of chilly. Highs near 50. Once we get to Tuesday, southerly winds return. We go back into the 50s. We go into the 60s by Wednesday. And then here comes our next storm system. Showers increasing by the time we head into Thursday, which is Thanksgiving. 61 tomorrow, 57 on Sunday, 50 on Monday, 58 Tuesday, 63 Wednesday, 58 on Thanksgiving. The dancing turkey has no idea what's
I think
right
maybe
around
he's
the
trying
corner.
to fly. Maybe that's it. He's trying to escape.
Well, he needs to lose a little weight if he's going to fly.
True. It may be too late for that. Thanks, Doug. Coming up in sports, Pitt State and Missouri Southern men's basketball hit the floor for the Chris Tucker Classic in Joplin. And high school football playoff highlights out of Frontenac, Webb City, and Grove, Oklahoma. Jacob Leonard has that and more next.
Well, tonight is a big night of high school football playoffs in the 4 states. We have 5 teams still alive for state titles. 3 of those are in action tonight. And we'll start in southeast Kansas with the Frontenac Raiders. Frontenac hosts Holton tonight in the 3A state semifinals. The winner moves on to the state championship game. Now, after a scoreless first quarter, Holton strikes first. Garrison Booth dives in for the score here. Wildcats up 7-0. It was 7-6 at half. Then the third quarter happened and Mario Mangini got involved. Mangini takes the reverse here. Cruises in for the 17-yard touchdown. Raiders have their first lead at 12-7. More from Mangini. Later in the third, Colin McCartney gets it out to Mangini. Just a foot race down the sideline. High steps out of one last tackle. 68-yard score. That makes it 18-7 Raiders. Wait, there's more from Mario Mangini. McCartney rolls out and finds him wide open down the sideline. Another 68-yard score for Mangini. His third touchdown of the quarter. Raiders lead 24-13 going to the fourth, and they would slam the door. Justice Compton punches in a short touchdown, his second of the night, in the defense. They didn't let Holton do anything, man. Frontenac wins 32-13. The Raiders headed to the 3A state championship.
It feels awesome. I know ever since a little kid, I know all of us Pee Wee football, we've been wanting state title when we were seniors. Watching the big guys, high schoolers play, we knew it was our turn, so finally get the stage and we finally made it, so we're all happy. Beyond emotions are over the roof right now.
It feels great. This whole summer we're preaching it. Work hard as you can for this moment, and we're here.
The Webb City Cardinals are district champions for the 22nd consecutive season. Last Friday, Webb City went on the road, knocked off undefeated Carthage 28-21 to earn the Class 5 District 6 title. Now tonight, Cards are back home in the state quarterfinals, looking to move on to the Final Four against Lebanon. Cardinals' first possession on the goal line here. Dupree Jackson gets in. Webb City has its first lead. Lebanon responds. Cade Musha runs it up the middle, and that ties it up. But Webb City drives right back down. First, Cole Vaden connects with Dante Washington on the outside. Jukes a few guys. He'll get inside the 10 before being brought down, and that would set this up. Second quarter, Cade Wilson finishes the drive. Cardinals back on top. It's 14-13 at half. Webb City scores in the third, then they start to pull away. Vaden goes back to Washington. He does the rest. That's a touchdown for the Cardinals. And they'll find the end zone one more time. This time, Vaden keeps it. This will be 37 yards to the house, his first rushing touchdown of the evening. Webb City takes down Lebanon 35-13 to earn their spot in the state semifinals next week.
You know, I would have never guessed maybe 6-8 weeks ago that we would be in this position, but you know, it's just about perseverance and continuing to work and just keep moving forward and trying to get better. And can't say enough about our coaches. You know, our coaches have done a great job of getting our kids in this position, and then our kids have done a great job on the field. So that's where all the credit goes to those guys.
To Oklahoma now, the Grove Ridge Runners host Elk City in the 4A quarterfinals. First quarter, it's Day-Day Thompson for Elk City. Getting in for the first touchdown of the night. Puts Grove down 10-0. Elk City again, handoff here to Jason Kraus. He's in. That makes it 17-0 in this first quarter. The second quarter, quarterback Corey Culver. He'll score again for the Elks. Makes it 24-0. Now Grove would get on the board here. Carson Trimble under a little bit of pressure. He scrambles, but he does get it off. Finds Emmanuel Crawford with a straight shot in the end zone. He would take it all the way. Grove on the board, but Elk City rolls tonight 45-24. The Missouri Southern men's basketball team is hosting the Chris Tucker Memorial Classic this weekend. And both the Lions and the Pittsburgh State Gorillas are on the floor in the opening night of the Classic tonight. The Gorillas are up first, facing the Truman State Bulldogs. Pitt State falls in that one 71-62. Zach Birch leads the way for Pitt State with 21 points. On the nightcap in Joplin, Missouri Southern faces Southwest Baptist. This one took overtime, but the Lions get it done 87-85. Career night for Winston Desisau. He scores a career-high 26 points. The Classic wraps up tomorrow with Southern facing Truman at 3:30 and Pittsburgh State facing Southwest Baptist at 5:30. And that's a look at sports. We're back with more news after this.
Take time now to honor a local veteran. Private Bobby Hopkins served in the U.S. Army. His hometown, Liberal, Missouri. And we are proud to salute Private Bobby Hopkins. He's tonight's four-state hero. You can learn about lots of other heroes from all across this area, more than likely many of them from your own hometown. You can also nominate a hero of your own anytime you like. It's very simple. Just click on the link on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. All right, this is one of the oldest surviving copies of the U.S. Constitution, and it has a new owner. Sotheby's says it sold at auction for $41 million yesterday. The company says it was printed in 1787 for delegates of the Constitutional Convention and Continental Congress. They had been drafting the document, and their printers created 500 copies of the final official edition. Only a few are left, and only this one is in private hands. A group of cryptocurrency investors had pooled $40 million for an unsuccessful bid for the document. Sotheby's had expected to get up to $20 million for the copy, and they doubled that. It's remarkable that's in private hands, if you ask me.
Yeah, especially being that old. That was just a few years before you were born.
Yeah, I covered that story. Yeah, it's one of the very first ones. Yeah. Weather looking nice tomorrow.
Yeah, it looks pretty good. We're going to go 61. You can't beat that in the middle of November. We are going to have a lot of clouds, but not too bad. Random shower tomorrow night, but in general, the weekend looks pretty good.
Final sports now.
Frontenac's moving on to the state championship game. They'll face undefeated Andale next weekend for the 3A state title. But they've already beat an undefeated team tonight, so what's another one?
Yeah, there you go.
That's right. Let's go Raiders. Let's go Webb City Cardinals. Thanks for joining us, and let's make it a great weekend.
Salon service